Teisha Bader with Shalom TV's News Update. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is facing criticism for failing to hold settlers accountable for breaking the law after 5 Israeli Border Patrol officers were injured on Friday while attempting to evacuate an outpost in the West Bank. As you may have seen on IBA News, Israeli security forces clashed with about 200 settlers at the illegal outpost of Oz Zion, which is near the settlement of Beit El. 5 Border Patrol officers were lightly hurt when the settlers threw stones at them. One settler was arrested. IDF forces ultimately left the outpost Friday afternoon, they said out of respect for the approaching Sabbath. Following the incident, Israel's Labor Party called on Netanyahu to make sure that the law is upheld and respected by those outside the Green Line, just as it is by those inside the Green Line, claiming that the Prime Minister is weak when it comes to dealing with settler lawlessness. Former Kadima head Tzipi Livni also lashed out at Netanyahu, blaming the Likud and Beit HaYehudi parties for the Oz Zion incident. Livni said the extreme right had taken control of the two parties, enabling such a confrontation to occur. The IDF spokesperson's office said security forces would return to Oz Zion to evacuate the settlers on Saturday evening after the conclusion of the Sabbath. The army also stated that some of the settlers were indeed evacuated on Friday. The Israeli daily Makor Rishon reported that Israel's ambassador to the United States, Michael Oren, is expected to end his role as ambassador in the spring of 2013. After 4 years serving as Israel's ambassador, Oren is expected to step down from the role in May. Born in upstate New York and raised in West Orange, New Jersey, Oren immigrated to Israel in 1979 and served in the IDF. He was appointed ambassador on May 3, 2009 by Prime Minister Netanyahu, succeeding Salai Meridor. Makor Rishon also reported that Netanyahu will likely nominate his advisor Ron Dermer to replace Oren as the next ambassador. Dermer immigrated to Israel from Florida in 1997. He has served under Netanyahu as senior advisor in the Prime Minister's Bureau since 2009, where he acted as liaison to the White House. According to several Israeli media sources, the Prime Minister's office would not confirm the reports regarding Dermer's nomination. A Brooklyn Hasidic man was indicted on Thursday for allegedly throwing bleach in the face of a Hasidic rabbi. 36-year-old Meliach Schnitzler, who is a member of the Satmar Hasidic sect, threw a cup of bleach in the face of Rabbi Nuchem Rosenberg after Rosenberg had accused Schnitzler's father of sexual abuse. Rosenberg is an advocate for victims of sexual abuse in the Haredi ultra-Orthodox community, and the bleach incident happened a day after the conviction in a separate sex abuse case, that of Satmar leader Nehemiah Weberman, who was convicted on 59 counts of sexual abuse of a then 12-year-old girl. Rosenberg had provided the girl, who is now 18, with support and assistance throughout the judicial process. Rosenberg also runs a website and blog for sex abuse victims and a telephone hotline. He had made the recent accusations against Schnitzler's father on his blog, after which Schnitzler assaulted him with the bleach. Schnitzler now faces up to 15 years in prison. Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi's advisor Issam al-Arayan, who serves as vice chairman of the Muslim Brotherhood's Freedom and Justice Party, has called on Egyptian Jews to return to their, quote, homeland and to leave their Israeli homes to the Palestinians. Al-Arayan said Jews expelled from Egypt by Nasser have the right to return to Egypt and to reclaim their property. He made the comments during an interview to Dream TV, an Arabic satellite TV channel out of Egypt, saying every Egyptian has the right to come back, especially if it gives Palestinians the right to return to their lands. He also said that the Jews are, quote, more worthy of Egypt than of Israel. According to the Egypt Independent paper, El-Arayan also said that Jews living in Israel are contributing to the occupation of Arab lands. The Simon Wiesenthal Center has released its list of the top 10 anti-Israel, anti-Semitic slurs of 2012. exposing what it calls the growing menace of Jewish hatred from people and movements who wield power. Topping the list is Egypt's Muslim Brotherhood with a quote from Muhammad Badi, a Muslim Brotherhood spiritual leader, who stated that Jews have dominated the land and spilled the blood of believers, and that the only way to deal with these, quote, Zionists was through holy jihad. Close behind at number 2 was the Iranian regime and its calls for the full annihilation of Israel. The far-right Jobbik party in Hungary made the list as well, with the recent comments from Jobbik leader Martin Gyöngyösi about the need to list the Jews in Hungary. Louis Farrakhan also made the list for his anti-Semitic rhetoric this past year about Jews controlling the media. And finally today, with the beginning of a new calendar year, we at Shalom TV want to wish you a happy and healthy 2013. And that's Shalom TV's News Update. I'm Teisha Bader.